We have always been divinity. We have always been divinity. But we've had these mind blocks, mind barriers, energetic mind barriers that diluted the perceptions and intentions of self. We have always been divinity. Again, we had to experience that illusion of separation from our divinity. We had to experience that illusion of separation from ourselves to honor to honor who we are, to honor our truth, to honor our divinity, to honor our sanctity, and to protect it, to protect our divinity, to protect self, to protect our authenticity. Hey y'all. My name is Ashley-Nicole Phillips, and you are tuned into Kingdom Things Podcast meets Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment. I am a channel for the divine, just like you, as we are all dimensions and aspects of the oneness of all things, or the energy, the all, most readily known as God, here within our realm, our dimensionality of planet Earth. We are in the mass shift, the mass awakening of the human consciousness, where every human being, every divine being, everything of planet Earth is awakening to the conscious awareness to the fact that we've never been separate from the oneness of all things or God. We were in a gestational phase where we perceived separation from ourselves and each other and the oneness of all things or God, because it was the makings of us, a part of the mastering of the melding of the divine infinite spirit with the human biology, the human vessel, the human avatar. Within Kingdom Things Podcast, I channel energies and messages from the oneness of all things or my soul, and publish these energies and messages within Kingdom Things Podcast, which is available to stream on YouTube as well as Spotify. Within Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment, I channel energies and messages as well as from my soul to assist with the evolution of the human consciousness. You can find Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment on YouTube, which is linked below if you're watching from the Kingdom Things Podcast, Spotify or YouTube channel platform. You're watching the Kingdom Things Podcast weekly review. I went ahead and melded it with Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment as I was being called to channel a message from the Galactic Federation. So we started the video with the Kingdom Things Podcast weekly review audio clip, which is from the Kingdom Things Podcast installment titled Divine Balance, which is linked below in the description of this video. I'm going to pull a couple of Rumi Oracle cards. I'm using the Rumi Oracle card, Rumi Oracle card, Pocket Edition, Invitation into the Heart of the Divine, artwork by Razuli. We're going to pull a couple of oracle cards, look at the artwork, read the messages, and then I'm going to go ahead and orate that in which the Galactic Federation wants to share with the planet, with human beings of planet Earth. Let's see what cards want to come through. We'll use this card right here. Being guided, this is going to be sufficient. Blood Angel. In the midst of the darkness, a moon appeared with its brilliance. An opening to receive, you must empty what has been. Grace is not about an exchange of equal measure. You will receive according to the great generosity of life itself. More shall be offered in compensation for what you are willing to release. Allow for a new influx of energy. I'm going to go ahead and transcendentally channel, so I'll go close my eyes. I'm going to read the oracle one more time. I'm being guided to keep my eyes open. I'm being guided to orate with my eyes open. Let me read the card one more time. Blood Angel, in the midst of the darkness, the moon appeared with its brilliance. An opening to receive, you must empty what has been. Grace is not about an exchange of equal measure. You will receive according to the great generosity of life itself. More shall be offered in compensation for what you are willing to release. Allow for a new influx of energy. I was having a internal dialogue with the oneness of all things, or the Galactic Federation, or you or I, because in truth, the oneness of all things, the Galactic Federation, you or I have 0 degrees of separation. There's nothing in reality in which can't be computed or simplified or balanced out in a formulaic mathematical equation that doesn't equal or finding that doesn't bring you back to the summation or starting point or home origin of God or source energy. Therefore, there are 0 degrees of separation from myself, from you, from the Galactic Federation, from your neighbors. We are all one. We were in a phase of reality where we found ourselves lost on the road home, or we were in our evolution as human beings of planet Earth, where we were encapsulated in a dimension of reality that said that we were finite, that we had an expiration date, that we decayed, that we died. Which brings me to the Kingdom Things Podcast prophecy. Kingdom Things Podcast 2033 prophecy. By the year 2033, the human beings of planet Earth, we will be in the stream of consciousness evolution to understand that we are a human culture of planet Earth with no disease, no death, no war, no famine, but peace, as disease, death, war, famine, as well as no poverty. Poverty, we're all contrived products of our narrow perception of who we are, our narrow computations of who we are, our narrow computations of what reality is. As we know through our sciences, we have made great evolutionary leaps and bounds within our sciences to understand the quantum mechanics, quantum facilities, as we call it, quantum mechanics, quantum facilities of the multidimensional layered aspects of reality. It's understanding that multidimensional layered aspects of reality is only a mirror of our multidimensional layered aspects of self. We have many of cultures and religious teachings on our planet, such as Hinduism, that dive into ancient Judaism, that dive into ancient Christianity, that dives into ancient Tibetan teachings, ancient Chinese teaching, that dive into the understanding that we are one with the universes. We are one with creation. We are infinite. As we continue to awaken to our infinite nature, it's understanding that every layer that we discover about ourselves, every layer that we uncover in our reality, are part of the makings of us, are a part of our evolution. It's not about beating up on ourselves or shaming ourselves. It's not about hiding from ourselves or running from ourselves. It's about taking joy out of becoming anew. In every moment that we discover something new about the self, about the oneness of all things, or about the I am. I'm going to link below the Kingdom Things Podcast live edition. Follow Kingdom Things Podcast on TikTok. I go live on TikTok whenever I'm guided to, whenever I feel intuitively led to. Channel live lectures or sermons. I channeled that the key, which I received a download from the universe, from the oneness of all things, God, the Most High, that the human being of planet Earth has graduated from concept to mortal man. What does that mean, Ashley? There are infinite beings in God's creation beyond the schematics of the galactic concept of God's creation, or the galactic paradigm of God's creation, beyond the stars, planets, gases that we dwell within consciously. There are dimensions within the galactic creation as well as beyond the galactic creation that have beings in dimensions of God's creation that travel and journey evolution, existence, or God, the infinite nature of God, in one incarnation bodily vessel. The human being of planet Earth has graduated into the one incarnation bodily vessel sojourn, or being able to travel, grow, and evolve within God's creation in one incarnation, incarnate or body, take on a body at will, as well as leave at will, or transcend at will. Which transcending the body is not necessarily needed per se, in the way that God created man in its mirror. God created man to be in its mirror. Bringing it to the Holy Bible, God created man to be its mirror, where we're able to transcend and utilize energies and for infinite dimensions of God's creation to grow and evolve ourselves, to grow and evolve our reality. I myself have recorded my spiritual awakening journey, waking up from my slumber. My soul, I was introspecting and reflecting about my past, 2017, 2018, really all of my life, but 2017, 2018, I do music. I was looking at music videos from 2017, 2018, and I was like, wow, like I learned to not to be, I learned to not beat up on myself, but to love every dimension of myself, because every dimension of myself, I was only in the makings of me, right? So as great as I am today, as much self-love as I found within myself today, that version of myself, 2017, 2018, isn't separate from this version of myself. But she was carrying a lot of energies that she no longer has to carry. She was carrying a lot of burdens that she no longer has to carry. So it's about allowing ourselves to drop the burdens and energies that were creating the illusion of separation from the divine or all things. And as we do so, it's understanding any fear that comes up is a part of our rejuvenation system, our cells rejuvenating. Any anxiety or fear that comes up with releasing paradigms of who we think we are, thought patterns of who we think we are, energetic embodiments of who we think we are. Those thought patterns, energetic embodiments of who we think we are. Releasing those, any anxiety and fear, is a part of our innate rejuvenation capabilities of our bodies, of ourselves, as infinite beings of creation. I'm also going to link below oneness, connection, energetic upliftment. I'm also going to link below Kingdom Things Podcast. Kingdom Things Podcast, enable rejuvenation consciousness with oneness consciousness. I'll link that live lecture below as well. I want to thank you so much for joining this Kingdom Things Podcast meets Oneness, Connection, Energetic Upliftment channel. Thank you so much to Energies from the Galactic Federation for permeating healing, uplifting energies and messages in this transmission. My name is Ashley-Nicole Phillips. Again, I am a channel for the divine just like you. I love you. Love on yourself. Self-love is the best love because you have to love yourself in the way in which you want your reality to love you back. Self-love is the best love because you are loving your truest truths. Give that love to yourself first. Self-love is the best love because it helps you grow into deeper appreciations of reality and existence, which assists you with manifesting your most joyful, abundant, and limitless realities. I'm going to see y'all later. Bye.
My name is Asia, and I'm a teenage witch. Just kidding. I am a starseed. My story is much like humanity's story. I awakened to some pretty spectacular things about myself. Coming home, the story of Asia, followed by the story of Asia, I'm home. The book series that introduces the book. After returning from a day's trip, I have read my Atum's letter. He speaks of my father releasing him from imprisonment and the fate of death. He pleads for us to run away together. This plea is one of which I make no state to decline. My other half, available in the Amazon bookstore. I feel as though I was born here on Earth to find you. I was created to find my person, the unconditional love literature parcel, now available in the Amazon bookstore.